All right, I believe we are active. So now we gotta get this Rex painted. For those of you that don't know, we are today for the live going to go ahead and continue work on my latest custom, which is going to be a Trespasser T-Rex. Hello, everybody. I see everyone joining. What's going on? What's going on at Toy Adventures? I haven't done a live in like 2 years, so it's been a while. I'm a little nervous. I don't kind of know what to expect, but we're just gonna have fun today. Today we're going to be answering your guys' questions before or while I'm painting up this Trespasser T-Rex. I know it doesn't look like much now, but we're getting there. We're getting there. All right. If you guys have questions, go ahead and ask away. That is what the live is for. I'll go ahead and answer them to the best of my ability while we are painting. D-Rex or Kakarodontosaurus? Those fighting questions are always really interesting. The D-Rex is hard to pin down because there is really no canon size for it. Every size you see is a little different. Today we're going to be kind of going for this look. Yeah, I know that looks super cool. And right now I'm doing the kind of brown fade in from the belly cream color. Yeah, you guys see these? These are perfect for painting with. These are the little captives eggs. So, how did the dinosaur store his head? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that one. Please do clarify. I have a question. What are the harder parts of filming Operation Guardians? Really, the hardest part is just finding new locations every time. I really don't like filming in the same spot over and over and over again because I don't know. I kind of get it in my head that you guys pick up on the fact that we're using the same spots. Even if you don't, I kind of like to just keep it fresh, keep the locations interesting, and just a little bit more interesting than constantly using the same spot, although I have been guilty of that recently just because it's such a pain to get up into the mountains where I film as of recently. But I have to get back up there because that's where we film a lot of our stuff. We are re-releasing a new toy movie. That's awesome. Great work. I'm happy that I'm, inspiring more people to get back into this because, I grew up watching toy movies of Jurassic Park. So it's cool that it's still going on to this day, and I get to be a part of inspiring people to continue it because it's an awesome art form. And you know what? Who knows how many directors it's been responsible for creating, How do you do your toy movies? Really, I do it all on my phone. And it's all beat up. But yeah, I do everything on my phone. I have the Splice app. I just go through there and do my editing. All my sound effects are actually, this is technically not really allowed, but no one's gotten me. But I just screen record them off of YouTube. I'll go to like Jurassic World Evolution's Tyrannosaurus Rex sounds, and I'll just screen record them, and they're perfect. So right now I'm just going to start with some dry brushing. I kind of want to get this brown to fade in to the cream. And then orange is going to go all over the rest of this body. Is it next Friday? Are you going to do one time season 27? What happens to poachers? Yes, the next movie is going to be regarding these guys. I just kind of wanted to take a break from Guardians just because that was kind of our bread and butter for so long. And once a series goes on for super long, I kind of get a little drowned out. And I feel like you guys do too, because the views start dropping off. So then I like to mix it up. Definitely not, abandoning it or anything. I just kind of want to start a new series, something brand new. And this one is going to be a part of that. It's going to kind of harken back to a series we used to have on the channel called King's Return. It's going to have a lot of those old characters coming back, and but with a new storyline and a new Rex. Instead of it just being a Buck repaint, we're going to have a Rex specifically made for it. It's going to be cool, and I'm going to be able to put in some of the new tricks I've learned into it. Is the Fatal Crash Spinosaurus the biggest, strongest dinosaur? Well, here's the thing. In Fatal Crash, obviously, since I'm using the 6-inch G.I. Joes, which are, you know, obviously taller than the regular figures I use, I had to use the Super Colossals because it's the only real dinosaur that is in scale, or the only Spinosaurus that's actually reasonably in scale with the Joes. So it's about the same size as a regular Spinosaurus. Probably a little bit larger due to it being a super colossal, but it's still in that same range. It's supposed to be an average size Spinosaurus. What is my favorite movie? Probably. See, I'm actually not as big of a cinephile as you guys would think. I kind of have really bad ADHD, so sitting down for movies is tough. So for me, it's got to be a spectacle kind of movie, and I would say, dinosaur-wise, The Lost World. If I can't have a Jurassic movie as my favorite, I would say Dead Man's Chest, Pirates of the Caribbean. I love that movie so much. Let's see what else we've got. What is the hardest thing about making Jurassic World toy customs? The hardest thing for sure, at least for me, is color matching. Trying to get that perfect shade that the dinosaur has while mixing. If you're not able to find it at the store, then the challenge really begins, because then you have to make it from scratch. And when you're not experienced with color theory or anything like that, I mean, I just literally started painting toys. So I have no knowledge on any artsy stuff. So it was really tough for me to get into color matching, trying to make it look like it should. That for me was the biggest challenge of all. Just going to get a little bit more of this dry brushing on there before we get back to the questions. It's not quite turning out exactly how I like, but you have to trust the process with these. They're often going to look pretty weak when you just start out. And then as you add more and more and more, then the vision really comes alive. So for those of you who are new to customs and you're maybe just beginning and you're really not liking it so far, or, okay, really not liking it, you should probably start over. But if it's not quite looking how you imagined it, don't worry. Just keep going. And it'll come together as the way. You really got to just trust the process. All right. Have you seen the Wave 2 Survival Wild Wars? Yes, I have, if you mean with the Cryolophosaurus. I was almost going to go get him at Walmart, but man, I just don't have the motivation for these survival figures. I like my dinosaurs looking like dinosaurs. I don't like them with all these spikes and Pokemon stuff on them. The Rebirth movie really didn't have as big of an impact to justify a whole wave of mutant dinosaurs that never even showed up in the movie. So I got to be real. I don't know what Mattel's cooking over there. I really think they should just abandon the survival line and get us back to some nice looking, realistic dinosaurs like they were doing. That is when they were really hitting their stride. Oh, I like how the dry brushing hit that face. Yes, this is the alpha male. In fact, I was originally going to do it on the other T-Rex that comes out with the... I put it way over here. This guy, but this is going to be the female instead. Mainly because when I had to break the gimmick on this thing, because look at this. Oh, I can get the mouth to stay closed. Yeah, I had to rip the neck open, get inside there, and destroy the gimmick just so I could have a good neutral Rex. And since I had to tear the throat open, there was a huge crevice in there, so I just hit it with epoxy, put a cool little gizzard on there, and said, you know what, screw it. This is the male. Since it has the gizzard, it's the male. So I had to kind of switch up mid. I already had the belly done and everything for the other Rex, so yeah, I'm a little more behind than I should be on these customs. Just a little bit. Ooh, do you not have problems with the areas you're filming your videos? Not really, and that's mainly because I'm blessed enough to be in California. And California has any biome you can think of. Snow, you go to the mountains. You want the desert, you go where I live. You want the jungle, you go a little more south towards San Diego. You want the forest, you go a little more north into the mountains. Any biome I need for Jurassic World, there's even swamps here, so it's really the perfect place to live. So no, I don't really have the issues finding filming locations. Um, it's just finding new ones now because I've used up most of them. There's a lot, but I've used them all, and it's just trying to find new ones, which there are plenty of new ones. You know, if we had infinite gas money, we could go all the way up to the Redwoods and film something over there where they actually film the second Jurassic World, which I do plan on doing eventually. I think that would be a really cool movie to actually film in the Redwoods. So, yeah, it's not too tough. How do your poachers in use of Iron Man, you use different videos? Do you I'm not quite sure what your question means. For the poachers, I really just used random GI Joes, mainly because I like getting the GI Joes. They're so cool, and they already have really awesome, unique designs. And getting to customize them is much more fun than just ordering another Marauders, because they all have unique bodies, shapes, colors, and whatnot. So for the poachers, they're never really supposed to be characters. They're just supposed to be disposable guys. They show up, they be evil, they get eaten. Unless I have something planned for that character, that's kind of what they're there for, is to just be the bastard. So they're really just made up on the spot. Main characters will get a lot more thought put into their design. What accessories fit what kind of character I want to give them and whatnot. So yeah. Which custom repaint do you remember being the hardest? The hardest? Um, I would say probably the Kakarodontosaurus, because I actually had to saw off that whole plastic spike bit on the back and then sculpt a convincing looking back without ever having sculpting experience. It was literally my first time touching epoxy. So I had to make it look somewhat convincing and not completely bogus, while also, making the paint look good. And the Kakarodontosaurus is surprisingly a tough dinosaur to nail the paint scheme of. The way they fade the colors is really tough especially for a beginner like me. Like I said earlier, color matching is really tough for me. So the Kakarodontosaurus probably gave me my biggest challenge yet, but I think it turned out really good. Best tips on making Jurassic Park toy movies. My best tips would be to just go outside. Go outside somewhere cool, somewhere that kind of looks like Jurassic Park. And if you're really meant for it, your eye will just pick up on a really cool spot. Maybe the plants look like perfect little mini trees. Your imagination takes over. And then you kind of just get in a scene idea. Like a lot of the scenes you see in the movies are less inspired by something I had planned weeks ahead or days ahead, and more so I saw a really cool environment and I'm thinking, how can I incorporate this into the story in a believable, interesting way? Well, not every scene, but a lot of scenes are like that, like any of the cool cars falling off of a cliff or something like that. Most of those weren't planned in advance. I would just saw an awesome cliff and I'm like, guys, we've got to knock something off that. So going outside and just observing your environment will help a lot with getting the inspiration rolling. That and just watching movies, you get kind of an eye for cinematics. At least I do. I pick up on them all the time. I love seeing repaints. I do too. That's why I'm making them. I just took the step one day. I'm like, you know what? Let's just try it out. Let's see what happens. And I'm somewhat okay at it. So I keep going until I'm really good at it one day. All right, what do I got to do more? So I'm gonna need definitely more of this down here on the bottom. No, that's too much. You kind of want to dry brush with a lot of the colors. That way they don't come off too solid and too plasticky. Dry brushing really helps with it looking much more natural. I mean, look at how it picks up all these scales. It really emphasizes the detail in the face. And then over this is going to go orange. Like, this is just step one of like 100, pretty much. So, and I'm talking to myself. What happened to the engine truck with Joe? I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. Engine truck with Joe. You're going to have to be a little more specific there. Oh, you can kind of see now that I'm seeing on the live remnants of me tearing this thing apart. We're going to have to fix that somehow. Probably put a little more epoxy on that. I'm sorry I haven't been watching you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, man. It's totally fine. I'm just happy you're here right now. Have you seen the Mattel Survival Stomodagasuchus? Probably. I've seen most, if not all, of the new reveals. I just didn't really pick up on their names. Mattel's doing a lot of randos, which I like. That's good. Except when it's in the survival line, because that means those random obscure dinosaurs that deserve action figures are getting really butchered action figures. So, like I said, if we could just scoot past the survival line already and get on to some greener pastures, that would be great, Mattel. I think we've had enough of the exaggerated Pokemon dinosaurs. Sorry, I'm like the number one survival hater. It's because I like my dinosaurs, man. Is Red Indominus Rex coming back? That's a spoiler. That is a spoiler. So I'll have to leave it at that. You'll just have to be on the edge of your seat for that one. Are you going to use the Colossal Distortus Rex? Okay, so yes. I mean, I really want to. The Distortus Rex movies really haven't been that popular. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I do plan on using it. I mean, like you said, yes, it's an accurate size Distortus Rex. It's really cool. And I definitely am getting it. So, I mean, the Distortus Rex was never my favorite. But there's just something, I mean, I guess it's the Godzilla fan in me that just can't resist a giant kaiju size. Oh, sorry, my desk is really ghetto. So every time I scoot wrong, it knee bumps it, everything goes crazy. So yeah, I definitely do plan on getting it. I don't know if it's going to get its whole own series because the Tortoise Rex really doesn't do too well. Not nearly as well as Indominus, but it will get a movie. A movie. Others, I can't be for sure. Have you seen the Hyman Collection Indominus? Of course, I've seen it. Not super impressed like I was with the Spinosaurus. I think they could have done a lot better on it. But, yeah, I mean, it's nice. If we could just get, like, a Marco Makes replacement head like we did with the Rexes, then they would be saved, I think. I think the body is pretty bad, but not, like, just downright terrible. It's definitely not in line with their Spinosaurus. So it is a little disappointing. I mean, that whole wave is kind of disappointing. The Scorpius, the Dilophosaurus is fine because it's the Dilophosaurus we got the first time just with new paint, which I think is cool because that one really got high in value. So I'm happy that we actually got a second of a species in the Hammond collection. That means it's possible, right? So us getting another Rex, mainline Rex, is not off the table, and hopefully they redo the sculpt, give us a improved Hammond Collection Rex. That would be really nice, and not what we got at Comic-Con, not what we got there. Something completely new. This is my favorite channel. Well, thank you. That is very humbling and wonderful to hear. I'm happy you guys are enjoying the content. Will you ever use Beast of the Mesozoic in your movie? I actually have. I don't have a lot of them. I have like 3. I have the Pachyrhinosaurus, I have the Nasutoceratops, and I have the Syrac. Okay, I lied. I have 4. I also have the juvenile Triceratops, but I never use it because I don't have the adult. But they are reissuing the adult with improvements, and I think they're also reissuing the Rex with improvements. So I will probably get those, and try and do a modern Mystery Island Vietnam era. Since Marauders just released their Vietnam line, it's like the perfect time. Everyone's re-releasing what I would need for the movies. So it's an expensive endeavor, but I really want to get to it because I know you guys love those just generic army guys versus the the accurate dinosaurs. So, and I love that too because it's a nice break from always doing Jurassic. I get to do something a little more just where I make the rules. So, yeah, I do want to try and get some more because that's what I would use Beasts of the Mesozoic mainly for is a separate series where the dinosaurs look less engine made and more god made, I guess you could say. Anyway, what is the main dinosaur custom you use in your movies? That would be the one I've used the most, probably. It's technically two because they always go together. Is the Buck and Doe I had made by Tyrannus on Facebook. Tyrannosaurig on Instagram. He has been my main customizer for a few months, although not as much now that I do my own. But back before I did my own, I really liked him because he did like the best buck I've seen. So yeah, I'd have to say the custom buck with the replacement head and all that good stuff. That would be I would consider my main custom that I would use the most often. Just because I love the buck, it's my favorite dinosaur. The alpha male, yeah, I mean it's gonna be the alpha male. I'm pretty sure it's going to be named King just because of the movie. So we will see that. Yeah, that's all I have to say about the Rex, really. We will see how good it turns out because it's a pretty complicated design I'm going after. Toy, what don't you use? Marauder gun. I believe you meant to say Marauder gun runners. I do, just limited because they're so scattered and in pieces. I really do need to do another order there and get some of their new stuff because they have some really cool new parts, especially with the Vietnam line that I really do want to get my hands on. So definitely will have to make another Marauders order. I mean, I will for sure if we're gonna do the Vietnam era movies again. I'm gonna have to because that's the figures I'm gonna use. So yeah, I've been relying a little bit too much on the Joe figures and definitely need to get back into some of the more Marauders because those were fun. They're not as unique individually as the Joes are, but you can do a lot with them, especially with the new stuff that they've come out with. Who do you think would win, Rex versus Spinosaurus? Well, there's two answers to that question. There's the engine, and then there's the real world. The real world, the Rex brutalizes the Spinosaurus. In engine, well, all the games say it's a pretty equal matchup. The movie says that the Spinosaurus hunts the Rexes, although that is yet to be seen. It killed a pretty well, it depends on who you ask. Some say it's a sub-adult. Some say it's a fully grown. Either way, it wasn't a very experienced male. So I would say in engine, they're actually pretty evenly matched. If not, the Spinosaurus has a bit of an advantage because it's bigger and ingenified, where it looks all, like a battle monster with those big old hands and it stands upright and all the power it has. So I would say equal, if not Spinosaurus, slight advantage. Let's see what else we get. So what happened to the Cobra controlled Rex? That one is still in the winter biome part of their island. That will be playing into the next movie because now that the Joes have discovered their own large dinosaur, they're going to maybe try and find a way to take down that Cobra controlled Rex. So yeah, this new movie was just trying to establish that finally show off the Spinosaurus because if you've paid attention into the other movies, the Spinosaurus was always there off screen, making noise, being threatening and whatnot, but I never actually had anything to show for it. So now that this movie was kind of here to introduce, A, I got the tanks, the jet, and B, that the Spinosaurus is the new threat that's actually showing up. And to show off a bunch of the new Joe figures, because that's awesome. Can you swim? Season 8, can you use the G.I. Joes, then the engine tricks in any getting switch Owen's body? I'm gonna. It's kind of hard to understand that question. I'm gonna kind of assume you mean that you want the InGen world, the mix with GI Joe, which I've kind of debated. As for Owen being in the series, that would be easy. I'm pretty sure I would just need to get the Amber Collection Owen Grady, because he would scale with the GI Joes. So, I might. I mean, there's really no telling what I'll do at this point, but it's not really planned. I kind of had the idea that the GI Joe dinosaurs would be a little bit more just real world dinosaurs, whereas obviously the Operation Guardian, all that is all InGen, so they have their own dinosaurs that act their own way and look their own way and do this stuff. But it's just been hard to kind of keep that facade up because there's no good sound effects for real world dinosaurs. There's like a couple roars and such just to get you the idea of what they would sound like, but no one's done like a full sound pack like Evolution has done, where you have the growls, the breathing, the snarls, the chomps, and whatever the full range that you would need for a believable dinosaur scene. So that's why I haven't done any InGen crossover. I kind of want to keep them. One's more real world and one's clearly biologically or genetically made. So yeah. Hopefully that answers your question. Really hope that you make the raptor tribes for this new Return of the Kings. Yeah, I mean, raptors and rexes, they go together like, what am I thinking of? Grease and fire. So you definitely got to have them together because they just piss each other off, and that is cinema. So yes, there will be raptors in King's Return for sure. Something's got to be there to annoy the Rex. Dilophosaurus just isn't brave enough. No one's kind of got the go like the raptors do. So they've got to be there, obviously. And it's just Jurassic Park. What are you going to do making a Jurassic Park series without some kind of raptor shenanigans going on? So I'm just looking at the picture again, seeing where I need to go next. All right, so I just need to kind of go. No. It's more from the back of the leg. Let's look at the questions. Who has been your favorite character, male or female, and dinosaur character? My favorite character would be probably Simon, just because I can do anything I want with him. He's cool. He's flexible. Favorite dinosaur character? The Buck. That's a little unfair. It's always going to be the Buck because the Buck is cool, and I love the Buck, and I grew up with the Buck. Yeah, he solos. Anybody? Hello, I am from Brazil. I don't speak English, but I'm going to try. Well, I was able to understand you just fine, so you're doing just fine. I have the same T-Rex you're painting. Yeah, I mean, out of the box, I'm not in love with it, but once you lobotomize it, and I do mean lobotomize it, it's a pretty good toy. I mean, it has a wonderful sculpt. I still have the full function of the puppeteering gimmick. Obviously, there's no button to open the mouth. That was all tied to the stupid champing gimmick, but I still got a functional toy here. Yeah, now we got to go to the other side. I'll do the legs later. And we got to get the painting. I mean, look how just weak this looks without any dry brushing. And then you bring the dry brushing in, and really, it slowly starts to come to life. And we're going to need a little more aggressive to match like the other side. I know some people paint the whole thing white first. I don't do that because I'm a damn fool. Next question. What is your favorite dinosaur? I'm going to have to say the T-Rex. I know. Basic. But with every discovery, the Rex just keeps getting buffed and buffed and buffed. If it's non-Rex, I would say the Compy or the Para. I love those two a lot. Parasaurolophus or the Compsognathus are my favorite non-super mainstream dinosaurs. Otherwise, Rex wins because I'm a little Rex fanboy, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. Do you support me? I guess I do. Yeah, as long as you're doing good stuff, keep rocking on. As a person who loves dinosaurs and stop motion, I want to make dinosaur stop motion, but it is hard. And your movies give me inspiration. You're absolutely right. Stop motion is a craft. I would do more of, I would do any of it really if I didn't have to upload so often. If I could upload like once every few months, maybe I would do a stop motion. But I like uploading often, and I like the way I film. It's a little more, well, obviously it's a lot easier, and I can actually film on location. Doing stop motion outside is impractical for a 30-minute plus movie because stop motion takes so much time. So much time. So you need a controlled set. You need you know, that's pretty much all you need. A controlled set where you control the lights, you control how everything looks. It can stay consistent for hours. So, yeah, I have a lot of respect for all the stop motion creators out there, newbie and pro, because that takes a lot of work. I used to do them as a little kid, and yeah, it's just a lot of work and dedication, and I respect it a lot. But I just don't personally do it because it's too time consuming for what I need. The G.I. Joe engine truck movies. I'm not sure what you mean by engine truck movies. If you mean all the engine cars in the movies I used to have, like how I used to have cars with the engine logo on there. It's mainly because typically engine are the villains. You know what I mean? Like whenever they show up, it's kind of like they're here to be the big bad bosses. So currently, the characters I have in at least Project Guardian are not part of Engine as for the most part. They are mostly independent, so they have their own vehicles that don't really need engine markings. It's nerdy lore stuff, but yeah, I still have all the engine cars, even the GI Joe ones. And whenever there's a time to use them, I like to use them. Sometimes I like to just put them in the background, like as wreckages from the bygone era when Engine was running rampant on Sorna. So that hopefully is what answers your question a little better. My apologies, I just didn't quite know what you meant. I am from Brazil, bro. Awesome. I used to have a nanny from Brazil. My family used to go to Brazil. I've never been there personally, but my family used to go to Rio de Janeiro. So awesome. Hello. Good to see you. Greetings from Southern California, the sunny state. I already know this won't be happening on your channel, but I was wondering what your toy movie take on the canceled Jurassic World or Jurassic Park Part 4. I believe that is Part 4. Sorry, I'm so bad with Roman numerals. I believe if I'm correct, you're talking about the canceled, specifically Jurassic Park, not World, the script where there were going to be human dinosaur hybrids. I think that would actually kind of be a fun movie to make if I had the props. I would treat it more like a zombie, not zombie, but like Biohazard. I guess zombie or the kind of like The Thing, if you've ever seen The Thing, just like where there's humans trying to survive against them. Maybe the cloning gets out of control and there's hundreds of them. I mean, for me, as a toy movie creator where nothing is canon, it's all just fun what ifs. I think I could do that movie and people would enjoy it because it's inconsequential to the rest of the series. Whereas if Hollywood tried to do it and make all that canon to the Jurassic Park universe, then it's something to be upset about because obviously it's a fun what if, but it's nothing you want to think about seriously. So I would actually be open to do it if I had the resources, being the figures, because I'm no good at sculpting. I couldn't make them on my own. Maybe if I got a 3D printer, That'd be kind of cool if someone made one. On the island where Red, Owen, and Blue are there more engine teams or just Owen and Barry? There are about four of them. I don't show them all. I just like to say there's four. So if I ever need another team and it's convenient, but there's a limited amount. There's just people who are looking out for the Distortus. Then there's Barry and Owen. That's two. Then there's two teams who are actively always looking. So yeah, I like to keep a little more than you see on screen, just in case if I need fodder. To be brutally honest, if I need fodder, and I don't want to kill off a main character, I'll typically just be like, oh, well, here's a team that you guys you guys haven't seen them yet, but they've always been there, So for the lore nerds, I'm going to go ahead and say there's 4 active teams on Sorna, at least in Genesis War, because that's what I'm assuming you're talking about, because that's the active series at the moment. I am from Brazil, bro. Do you doubt it? No, I do not doubt you for a second, my man. I believe you are from Brazil. I'm just saying, my family used to go there, and they used to love it. They used to love going to Brazil. Are you also going to see Mutadons in the series? You know what? It's so funny that you would mention the Mutadons. One moment, because I actually bought them from Walmart, but I was a dingus when I bought them. You know how sometimes, a lot of the time, these dinosaurs will have their tails separated in the box, and they did it for one of these wings too. So I bought them, and I bought the one without a wing. So, and if you can see in there, it's actually broken. The wing port is straight up broken. So I was a dingus. I picked up the wrong one. So, yeah, we're going to have to get another one of those sets. But yes, Mutadons will appear. Mainly because the toys finally appeared. They would have appeared earlier had I had something to do them with. But I knew they were going to make toys of them, so I didn't trip too much. Didn't mention them until I needed to. So, yes, you will be getting more Mutadons. Just want to show off those. Bro, Brazil loves your movies. That is actually true. Brazil does love my movies. I check my analytics, and I do get a lot of viewers from Brazil. So to anyone else from Brazil, to you from Brazil, hello. Thank you so much for sticking with the channel and rocking with us. We are super happy to have you. It's nice to have international friends to get points of view from all over the world, wherever you are. Thank you for being with us. Yes, I love the Vietnam video. I know, I need to make another one. And I really want to, because that was fun. I'm a history nerd, so that was fun for me. History. Like prehistory and then history. I like it all. So getting to mix prehistoric and historic was a lot of fun. And then Primitive War came out. And that's awesome. I mean, that now the idea is even more in people's minds. So I think I really should jump on it while everyone's like Vietnam dinosaur crazy at the moment. What is your favorite old toy movie of Jurassic Park? Now, do you mean mime toy movie or like just any toy movie in general, like ones that I grew up with? I'll go ahead and answer both for you. So in terms of toy movies that I've made, I would say my Return to Sornas are probably my favorite, just because they're simple. They're on an island I love. I also really like Project Guardian because it's the same thing. I love being on Sorna with all the Rexes and all the dinosaurs in the wild. So that one, and probably Operation Rebirth, where I got to do a Jurassic Park series. That was a lot of fun. Those were probably my 2 favorites that I've made. I can't pick an individual one because they're really not really meant to be individuals. They're like all part of a series. So none of them are like so amazing that they would stand on their own. I guess the Vietnam one would be like that. But in terms of movies that I haven't made, ones I've grew up watching, I would say that there's a movie called Escape of the Dinosaurs. I have a playlist called Things That Inspired Me, or Things That Inspired Toy Adventures. It's on my channel. You guys can check out that playlist. It has a bunch of old toy movies from like 2008 and before, where I grew up watching them. And so you can kind of get an idea of what I was watching as a kid that really, inspired me to start this. So it's called Escape of the Dinosaurs. I believe it's by Lucky Soar. It's an old toy movie from like 2006 where like a bunch of dinosaurs, toys. They're toys. They're not supposed to be real dinosaurs. They're toys that escape out of a bucket and they find a way out of this guy's room. They get like this light post. They climb up. They get this string of Christmas lights. They throw it, hook it around the doorknob, and then climb up it to open the door. It's such a clever, fun movie, and it really inspired me to start making stop motions. So, hopefully, that is the answer you're looking for. Is it a possibility that Owen will train a new Raptor pack? Nothing can replace the originals, but it would be cool to see a spin-off of Owen raising new Raptors for Blue. That is a really good idea. And it's kind of what I was getting at with the Genesis War, where Blue is kind of getting integrated into this new wild pack. But some specifically made, genetically, made Raptors would be awesome. I would have a specific way I'd want to do it. Like I'd want to get the Hammond collection, Blues, or I can't remember the most recent Raptor. I think Blue is the most recent good Raptor. And then get a head replacement for them all so they all look really nice. And then, yeah, it's just tough for me because I'd probably repaint them just to save the money. And I'm not that good at painting small stuff. I don't know if you guys have seen it on my custom Raptors, but they're nothing to shake a stick at. Blue, the custom Blue is definitely not me. So I kind of need to hone in my skills on doing mini customs before I can really, well, I guess I could still try, But that's mainly why I haven't done its own completely new pack of Raptors. I tried it with the Indominus some time ago, and they didn't turn out the way I liked, and it kind of discouraged me. But I need to get out of that mindset and try again. Yo, what's good, Toy Adventures? Nah, everything's good right now, brother. We're just chilling, having fun, and talking. Suggestion: Rexy and his generation as Tyrannosaurus macra, something I don't remember the new species full name, and Ember-based toys are the true T-Rexes. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I just am using the Ember Rex because it's like objectively the best sculpted Mattel Rex we've gotten. It's incredible. I really hope we get an Ember Hammond collection just so we can turn it into all the other Rexes. I mean, yeah, the other Rexes don't have this ridged back here, but I mean, look how nice the neck and the head go together. And look how nice the bulky the body is. This doesn't look like a bowling pin anymore like the Thrash and Throw did. This looks like a proper Rex. I think this and the, well, at least when you can destroy the gimmick and get it nice and neutral like this, this and the Epic Roaring are like the best sculpted Rexes to come from Mattel, period. And I believe that. That and obviously the Extreme Chomping that's based off of this one too. But I think this one just has it a little bit better because it's bigger. And so it has a bit more detail on there. So yeah, I think sculpt-wise, this and the Epic Roaring are the best. So whether they're the true Rexes or not is, man, they're just like a new genetic variation. I'm not ignoring you, brother. I promise. I keep answering you. Barry Studios. Maybe I haven't been saying your name, but Barry Studios, the Brazil guy. I'm definitely reading your comments, brother. Don't worry. I'm not ignoring you. Do you have the Hammond Collection Buck? Barry Studios asks. Yes, I do. I have a custom one, and I have the official released one. Hopefully he got to see that before he left. I just got to say, dude, I've been watching your videos for so long, and you're a huge inspiration for me, and keep up the good work. Thank you so much. It's always wonderful to hear that. That's a part of the reason I started this channel, was to inspire people to get creative, go outside. Big emphasis on the go outside, and have fun outside, play dinosaur toys, just like I did when I was a kid. Trying to keep them, ironically, it's a double-edged sword, because I'm trying to keep them off the iPads. But in order to watch my movie, you have to be on a device. But the idea is you watch the movie, you get inspired, and then you go outside, and then you play. And you come inside and you watch another movie like a responsible viewer. JP3 Spinosaurus aegypticus rebirth Spinosaurus mirabilis. Are there two variations? I always figured that the Spinosaurus has just been nerfed. I know no one likes to use that term because it's reality, but you know that just kind of so you guys understand, it had all those tweaks done to it. I didn't know. I don't know if there's actually two. I mean, obviously there is two different variations of the Spinosaurus, but I didn't know if they were that drastically different to where like one is like the JP. Maybe that's just like the in universe for Jurassic Park explanation is what you're talking about, which is probably what you are talking about. So I'm a little bit of a goofball. Any plans for a Cobra Deinonychus? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to get a few of those. It's not just going to be one, it's going to be a few of those. I mean, talk about a bone thrown to me. I heard G.I. Joe fans on the fan page complaining that we were getting a Deinonychus, as if the 80s G.I. Joe already didn't just have dinosaurs in them. So I'm all for it. I'm getting them. I hope they do more dinosaurs. I want like an Allosaurus, a trained Cobra Allosaurus. That would be so cool. So absolutely, we are getting the dinosaur, the G.I. Joe dinosaur, and it's gonna be in the next movie. It's gonna be in the next. A few of them. Do you plan to get the Muscle Madness Tyrannosaurus Rex in Colossal Chomp Giganotosaurus? I don't remember the Muscle Madness Rex. Is that the survival one? If so, yes. Just because it's uniquely shaped, it looks like a completely new member of the species instead of it just being another buck or another Roberta or another Ember. You know what I mean? Like the sculpts are different, so it looks like, a different individual. So yes, I will be getting it, and it's a T-Rex. Of course, I'm going to get it. As for the chomping Giganotosaurus, I think I will. Honestly, I think I will, just because it's so unique looking. It doesn't look like the regular Giga. It's like almost super like iguana-like, and that makes it unique enough for me to justify getting it. It's probably not going to hold a candle to the Hammond collection, but it's going to be unique and interesting to look at, and I think that is enough reason to get it. It's unique in a good way. Is it hard to paint dinosaurs in trucks? Is it hard to paint? Is it hard to paint the dinosaur toys? Dinosaur toys, yes, because you're dealing with very intricate patterns and color matching and color fading into each other, striping. Some stripes need to be a little lighter than others. You don't want them to be super dark. So yes, painting dinosaurs is a really tricky business, depending on the design you're doing. If you're doing an easy design, I would suggest for beginners, start with like toy designs. Like that's how I started. For instance, my first ever dinosaur custom was the Hammond Collection Carnotaurus, and I did it based off of the Kenner Demon, which is just black with red spots and stuff and a white belly. I would suggest with simple 3-color, 4-color designs at most that are simple to do, and then you can work your way up to more complicated designs. As for vehicles, it's a lot easier, because the hardest part about customizing a vehicle is disassembling it. You want to completely take it apart to make it everything easier, so you don't have to mask off a bunch of stuff. Just completely unscrew it, take it apart, then you just use spray paint. You don't paint it by hand, because then you get brush strokes in there and it looks really bad. Just spray paint it. And if you want to be really fancy, you can hydro dip it, which is an extra step. It's not too complicated, but it is a bit complicated. But if you're not going to do that, I would then I would suggest using water slide decals or stickers. Water slides look a lot better and are definitely worth learning how to use. That's what I've been using for all my engine stuff on all the cars. Every time you see an engine logo on a car, it's a water slide. And once you learn to do those are pretty simple. So to answer your question, yes and no. Painting dinosaurs is hard. Painting a vehicle is a lot less hard and can definitely be managed by a beginner. I know that you don't like Camp Cretaceous or Chaos Theory series, but do you have any plans to add Big Edie or Little Edie into a toy movie eventually? Well, yes, you're correct. I do not like those series. I don't like the ideas they pose regarding like lore stuff. Big Edie and Little Edie don't deserve the sins of the father. They are cool. They get to come into the club. I like them. So if they make a good figure of Big Edie or Little Edie, I will absolutely be getting it and implementing it. And I don't even dislike the Camp Cretaceous crew. I just don't like the fact that it's canon to the rest of the series. I mean, I'm all for us having a kid-friendly series to get the kids in. Not that we really needed that because they already have the movies. But yeah. So to answer your question, I would absolutely incorporate Big Edie and Little Edie. I think they're cool. I'm able to discern. It's not like I throw everything from Camp Cretaceous out the window. I'm very nuanced about it. I don't like the story, but I like some of the stuff it implements. Like I like their Tarbosaurus. I like Big Edie, Little Edie. I really like their designs for the Suchomimuses. I mean, some of their ideas are really cool, but then a lot of their ideas are really bad. Like the mechs, um, just the idea of like a Scooby-Doo hero team somehow always surviving the dinosaurs. I think one of them needs to be killed off, if not multiple need to be killed off to really raise the stakes and remind kids that this is Jurassic Park we're talking about. This is not Land Before Time. People get eaten horrible ways. They die in horrible ways because you're not supposed to be messing with these creatures. You're not supposed to be interacting with them. I wish that kind of really dark kind of, since it's canon, since it has to be real, I think it should stick to the theme of the series where these are deadly creatures, and especially a group of unarmed kids would not be able to survive them. That's just my opinion, though. You know what I mean? What inspired you to start your own repaints? I remember them once being by Pret Prop Isla Storna Restoration. Correct me if I'm wrong. They were definitely done by Pret Prop. They were done by Brett Buckley. They were done by Kyle Bishop. And then I also had Tyrannosaurus. I went through a lot of customizers, but what really inspired me was just watching a video of someone. I think it might have been I can't remember his name, but he's a really Ted Jurassic, I think. You guys are gonna have to correct me. It's Ted. It starts with Ted, for sure. And he's really big in there, and he's a wonderful, wonderful artist. And just watching his speed paints, kind of like I'm like, man, this looks so simple. I could do this. I could definitely do this. And I just tried it. I just got a figure one day, a figure specifically for customizing. So if I screwed it up, whatever. And I went for it. And I liked the results. And I'm like, you know what? I can build off of this. So yeah, it was just watching other people do their own repaints and realizing that it's just it's not as like to do the crazy super movie accurate ones, yes. But if you just want to jump into it, you don't have to start there. You can start wherever you want, and that helps, especially when you start easy. It helps you get in to the deeper, harder designs. Have you considered doing a pseudo crossover series? For example, Jurassic Park X Monsterverse Skull Island, creature shrunk down or something. That is a pretty cool idea. I just don't know how I would do it figure-wise. Yeah, I mean, maybe you said shrunk down, so I just don't know what figures I would use. Like, who gets shrunk down? I mean, obviously, probably like the skull crawlers and such. I guess I could use maybe the Hayatoys one. I do have the Playmates skull crawler, and maybe those would scale in better. Although I don't know, it's just a really complicated idea, and to implement. I mean, the idea is cool, especially once you saw Skull Island. I really wanted to see more dinosaurs of Skull Island because that's kind of what Skull Island is known for, especially in the classic movies, is the dinosaurs. So I wish we got to see their version of the Vestorodus Rex. So it'd be cool. I just don't know how I would do it. Do you think Hammond Collection will create a Quetzalcoatlus toy? Yes, I do. I definitely do think they will eventually. I think they're going to do all the Rebirth stuff eventually. The movie didn't perform all that well, but neither did Dominion, and we still got a Giga. So I think we're going to get a Distortus. I think we're going to get a Quetzal. I think we're going to get a new Spinosaurus. Okay, I can't say for sure on the repeat species because Mattel kind of steers away from them for the most part. They don't like doing a lot of repeat species, but I would hope since they're new models that we'd get an Ember, a new Spino. Like, they still need to do a Moza period, so they can't really redo that. But I do think they will eventually get to the Quetzalcoatlus because it's a movie dinosaur, and they're running out of movie dinosaurs, so they're gonna have to cover it eventually. I would love to see your editions of the Jurassic 4. I always thought it would be something cool and different. I think that you would even add custom dinosaurs would be more awesome. It would be for sure. Like I said, the only problem is sourcing figures that look like human dinosaur mixes. Um, Especially if you like the pictures that always are accompanying the post, where it's like that weird green humanoid that looks like a compy almost. Like, I would need to get a 3D printer. Oh, that was way too strong. Get a 3D printer and like make that into a statue first of all, and then make it posable. I don't know how to do any of that. Like, that's way beyond my level. I could probably possibly hire someone to do that. I just don't know if that would really be worth all the effort put into it. I'm not super crazy about the idea. I mean, it's cool, but I'm not like bouncing off the walls like I am with like the Vietnam movie where I want to get all those figures and make something really cool. So unless there are something made that I can use, I don't think I would go through the hoops just because it wouldn't do as well. And so it wouldn't necessarily be worth all the hoops I'd have to jump through to get it into reality. Again, I'm not crazy passionate about that specific topic, mainly because for everybody, that was like a missile dodged. You got to understand, for all of those old JP fans, when that message, I'm sorry, you could be an old JP fan, I don't know. But that missile, that was like a missile dodge when we found out we weren't getting that movie. So everyone kind of just tossed it aside and no one gave it a second thought. And it almost has like, it's almost like radioactive at this point because we're so sick of hybrids and mutants and whatnot that I'm just not sure that's what everybody wants right now. It's another kind of mutants gone bad storyline. Will you explore the whole Simon and Scotty being veterans from 1997? That would be a lot of fun. Mainly I'm waiting on Mattel to make more of the classic Lost World stuff. I think that would be a really awesome movie where I could show their escapades on Sorna with the rest of the team, kind of showing what InGen was up to when the screens weren't on them. You know, because when we cut back to the InGen camp, they have captured a Triceratops, they've captured a Stegosaurus. We never saw any of that stuff happen. So that's where I could come in and show them capturing everything. Maybe that was Simon and Scotty who got those two wrangled up. And yeah, so I'm just kind of waiting for all the toys to be made for it to be viable. But that would be an awesome idea to go back and do kind of like what you didn't see of the Lost World. When are you going to continue the World War II toy series? I don't think I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I think we're going to do the GI Joe and then the Vietnam, and I think we're going to leave it at that. Just because I have a little bit more freedom with that, and I don't know. I'm just not really feeling all up to it. To be 100% honest with you, I don't foresee the World War II series coming back, also because it just wasn't as popular. The Vietnam movie is one of my most popular movies, so that would definitely be the direction I would be going in for that. You should try the PNSO dinosaurs. I have seen the Rex. It looks amazing. It's just, again, all these companies like Namu and PSNO, they're making them in 1/35 scale, which if I still had all my Mega Bloks Call of Duty stuff would be perfect, mind you. And I might just go get a bunch just to do it, to be honest. Like, now that I'm saying it out loud, that is not a bad idea to go buy a bunch of Mega Bloks Call of Duty, because I know a lot of you guys grew up with those. So it'd be really awesome to see those on screen mixed with like the Namu Rex, the Namu Spinosaurus, the Namu Indominus, where they look super movie accurate. Yeah, that might actually be a future project, to be honest. You might see a PNSL Rex. You know, maybe InGen gets a perfected strain of Rex DNA and makes a completely accurate one. Who knows? The door is wide open. When are you going to continue Operation Rebirth? Operation Rebirth has been finished. When that series is over, if I were to go back to the Jurassic Park era, it would be a completely new series. Because Operation Rebirth was kind of just about like the park getting its stuff together and finally getting everything under control after the rebirth of the island. Whereas now it would be like trying to manage a running park, which would require a lot more. I would need like civilian figures, structures. Yeah, I don't really see myself returning to the Operation Rebirth timeline anytime soon. But you never know. You never know. We might get a really cool playset or series of playsets that allow me to do it a little bit more convincingly. So as of now, it's not on the plans, it's not on the horizon. Suggestions: Megalodon and Genesis war against Owen and Blue, Foxtrot, Orange, Rebirth Raptor, and other raptors. Meanwhile, they search for Red and Ghost after the fight with the Distortus Rex. Well, they don't need to look for Ghost. Ghost is still with them. But yeah, I think eventually getting on to the Megalodons being the reason that Owen has to work together with the Wild Raptors is a pretty good idea. And yeah, you might just see that in the movie. But as for looking for Red and whatnot, that's of course going to happen. I mean, that's going to be pretty much the entire plot of the next Genesis War is looking to see if Red is alive or not, and seeing you know what it will take to kill the Distortus Rex, if it's really on its last leg or not. Will the boys from Return of Sorna return in Project Guardian? I don't think so. I think he's had his fun, and he's gone for now. Project Guardian kind of already has a full cast, and I'm really not itching to add too many more to its cast. I mean, you've got Nigel, Simon, you've got Bernard, who's the new merc with the hat on. You've got Donovan, Kelly, Rose. So it's kind of a full cast already. I doubt everybody knows all their names. Hell, sometimes I don't even know all their names. I forget them sometimes. But definitely not Simon and Scotty, but not Bernard. Some of those. Sometimes I've straight up just killed off characters because I can't remember their names, and I don't want to embarrass myself coming up with a new name. So it's like, oh no, that guy died. Guess I don't gotta remember him anymore. So yeah, I think that cast is filled up enough. Any other auxiliary characters don't really need to show up, at least for now. Your videos are my childhood. That is awesome. That is so awesome to hear. And I sometimes I read that, I'm like, what? I haven't been doing that long. And then I realize I've been doing this for like 7 years, which is absolutely insane. It's gonna be 10 years in like 3 years. So that is wild to me. I've always seen this as like my new channel, or my channel that's a couple years old or whatnot. No, it's like 7 years old. I mean, so I've been making toy movies for adults at this point. The toy movies I made as a kid were watched by people who are now adults, which is really trippy to me. So, yeah, thanks for walking with us. Are you still using a T-Rex Part 9 for the store Rex, or not, or pain in it? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by there, brother. May want to restructure that sentence a little better. Why am I keep getting message redacted? What evil things are you guys saying that just YouTube has to obliterate you for it? Do you have any good Humvee toy suggestions that I could use with my Marauders? I do actually. There's if you want to go for the most top of the line expensive ones, you're going to want to go for the Elite Force BBI. They have a few variations of the Humvee. That is going to be your most expensive, but also your most detailed option. From there on out, you're going to want to go with the modern Elite Force release. That one's a lot cheaper, but it's still good. Looks fine. It's the more armored up Humvee. Then you also have G.I. Joe, which has the Night Attack Humvee. That one's going to be expensive just because it's G.I. Joe, but it looks pretty nice. And then recently, I just saw that there is an if you like the old Hulk movies, the old Incredible Hulk movie toy line had a Humvee in it that looks really cool. So you can also check out that one. But then there's also just a bunch of random, off toy brands that will make a Humvee here and there. So um, price point wise, I would suggest the modern Elite Force. But if you have money to spend, go ahead and get the BBI ones. Those ones are really awesome and they look the best. They might have a little tough time fitting Marauders because Marauders are a bit on the big side. So you might want to go with the modern Elite Force or even World Peacekeepers. That's another really good option. World Peacekeepers, click and play. They have a lot of really good Humvee options for you. So, and I believe those are ones that are on Amazon for super cheap. So, click and play, World Peacekeepers, BBI Elite Force, and then regular Elite Force. BBI is kind of like their old brand back in the early 2000s when they put a lot of detail and hard work into their toys. And then the modern Elite Force is when they really cheapened out on them just to make them budget and affordable, which I like both because I customize them, so I don't really care how much detail they paint wise they put into it. As long as it's sculpted nicely, that's all I give a damn about. Are you also ignoring me? I do not mean to. If I am, please ask your question again. I'm just going through the questions and I'm kind of behind on them. In fact, let me go ahead and check up, see if I missed your question. Oh, that was just a skull emoji. Oh, see, here's your question. You were asking about the Muscle Madness Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yes, I'm getting both of them. Just because I like that they're unique sculpts. They're not the same thing we've seen over and over and over and over again. So, yes, I will be getting both of them. And be the Jurassic World fan. Just so you know, I'm addressing you. All right. Owen New Raptor Squad Blue Beta 2.0, the white and blue, the white blue ramp with red eyes, Foxtrot Rebirth, Sierra the Trespasser B Raptor. Yeah, those Trespasser Raptors are really cool, but man, are they complicated. So I'm already struggling with small dinosaur designs. Trying to do a small raptor design that's that intricate, that's gonna kick my butt. So, I mean, I would definitely be down once I get a little bit better. Let me improve my skills on detail work, on fine detailing, and then I will probably get back to something like that. Because I mean, I love the Trespasser designs. They are some of the coolest looking designs Jurassic Park has gotten. Luke Hobbyton says hello. Hello, Luke. How are you doing? Okay, you say, not gonna lie, bro, Chaos Theory is amazing. That stepped up everything and honestly tied in with Dominion really well. As for the characters, as for how the characters get out, yeah, that's mainly my biggest issue. My problem with Camp Cretaceous is my main big problem with Camp Cretaceous is that it's canon. That is the only thing. Everything else is a subject of it being a child-centric show. And, obviously it has grim stuff in there, but it's a child-centric show. I just don't want it to be canon. I want it to be optional canon. I know they can't really do that, but I just don't feel like it fits the rest of the atmosphere of the Jurassic World. Take it in a vacuum, it's a really great series, and I think it's really good on its own. But when you try and put it in with like something as dark and grim as the Lost World, and you try and put them in the same universe, they just don't match. Like the atmospheres don't match. And I'm gonna prefer the Lost World over Camp Cretaceous any day. So that's mainly why I don't like Camp Cretaceous, is because it has kind of too experimental of ideas to be considered canon for me. So that is my main issue with it, is that they force it upon you as reality instead of it being like, oh well, I don't really like this, so I'm gonna leave that out or whatever. To me, it's all fiction. So whatever I say is canon in my brain, right? I am the creator of my own perception. So if it's not canon to me, I mean, nothing's really canon. So, you know what I mean? None of it's really canon. None of it's real. Could you make a toy movie short series based off of Jurassic Park the game? So I think you mean the Telltale one where it has Dr. Harding and his daughter. That would be really cool. I think that would be dope. I would just have to make the figures, make a convincing looking Dr. Harding, some of the mercs too. I love a lot of the designs in that game. Like as soon as we get the Tylosaurus, I'm gonna make it look like the Telltale Tylosaurus. The Trudon. I forgot the name of the Triceratops, but they had a named Triceratops. So, yeah, I would definitely like to do something like that. I just kind of tend to make my own stories. I don't really like to continue off of others, for the most part. Sometimes I will, but for the most part, I like to kind of go in my own direction. So I might incorporate those characters, but I might not necessarily go to that exact setting, if you know what I mean. With a repaint, you can turn the Chomping Giganotosaurus into another failed hybrid from InGen. The Diablos Rex, the Indominus prototype that is yellow and blue in the concept art. Yeah, I definitely could. I mean, the Diablo Rex is a really cool idea. I think it got replaced by the Distortus Rex lore-wise. Just like, in the series, they said that the Distortus Rex was the prototype for Indominus Rex. So, but I can do my own series with my own lore. So, yeah, it's totally on the table. I'll just have to take a look at this Diablos Rex and see if it's something I am capable of. As long as it doesn't require anything too intensive, you know what I mean? Are you going to continue painting a T-Rex? Yes, I am. I've just been answering so many questions. I have gotten the face done. This is just really here, so I have something to do in the meantime while I'm answering questions. I didn't expect to get as many questions as I got. So I thought, oh, well, I need something to do to keep them interested. But I've been keeping the runtime just answering your questions. Speaking of which, I'll be right back. I need to go get something to drink. My throat is super dry. Please enjoy the Rex for a small while. All right. I apologize for that. I forgot I left my soda in the freezer, and I opened it, and it exploded all over me. So I'm covered in grape soda. Minor setback. Back to the live. I am dripping wet with juice. Toy Adventures. Would it be possible if Owen ever had a trained pterosaur like he did in the Lego Jurassic World, genetically engineer one to follow commands? That is a pretty cool idea. Kind of like as a messengering pigeon or like a scout would be a really good idea. If you mean like riding it, that just isn't possible. He's way too heavy. But I mean, like a Quetzalcoatlus could probably carry him. Yeah. Man, I'm just covered in soda right now. But yeah, that'd be a dope idea. I just haven't really explored the realm of different trained dinosaurs other than just raptors and I guess Distortus Rex or Indominus Rex. I meant to say. So yeah. All right, let's see what else we got. Also, you're going to use more mechs in the future. Probably not. It was a really unique series. I don't really like to stray off into the crazy sci-fi too much. I just wanted to do it here because it's already a crazy sci-fi idea from the get-go, mutant dinosaurs. So I was like, you know what, let's just go crazy chaos effect mode and just have them fight a giant forklift or something. Let's just have it be totally balls to the wall crazy. Because it's already a crazy concept. Damn, there's a lot of questions. I gotta catch up. How come you didn't recreate part 2 of Deadly Shores? Also, what is your opinion on the new Hammond collections? I don't honestly know why. Now that I think about it, I think because Deadly Shores 2 had its own customs that I didn't have ready, and it was just a much different storyline. I was really just focused on recreating the first one. Although with the Indominus Rex recreation series that I'm going to do, where I'm going to be recreating the Hunt for the Indominus Rex movies once I get the Hammond collection, I'll be sticking a lot closer to those. But also, since those movies were a lot shorter, I Deadly Shores, the original one, is 9 minutes long, which is unheard of for me nowadays. So obviously, I had to add a lot of new content, which I'm going to do a lot with the Indominus series. So it's going to be like the old classic movie you love to watch, but with new scenes, better filming techniques, better figures. Yeah. So just to answer your question, I kind of got off topic. I didn't recreate it because I kind of had my own idea of what I wanted for the sequel, and I didn't have what I needed for the traditional sequel. In Operation Garden, is the Nigel the same Nigel from Prehistoric Park? If he is that Nigel, are we going to see paleo-accurate dinosaurs or some primeval crossover event? It is the same Nigel. The same Nigel from Chased by Dinosaurs, the same Nigel from Prehistoric Park. Will we see a crossover with real dinosaurs? I don't know. We might. It's just as a matter of if I get those Beasts of the Mesozoic anytime soon. If I do, then it will be. But with Primeval, no, I don't think so. I mean, I love Primeval, but I just didn't get too deep into the lore. So, yeah. Toy, will you do something kind of like that movie Battleship and use destroyers? Here's the thing. If I'm going to do something like Battleship, like something on that scale, it's going to be Godzilla. It's not going to be dinosaurs. I mean, what is a T-Rex going to do against a battleship? We love our dinosaurs, but they have limits. They are relatively easily killed by modern military tech. Like a 20 millimeter is going to blow apart a T-Rex's skull. But in Operation Rebirth, you had a plot for finish the Raptors and the guy that was on attack for the Rex. I'm not sure what you meant in that response there, Raptor Rex. But in Rebirth, you had a plot for finish. Yeah, I'm not too entirely sure what you mean there. I love you, beautiful, but I am a kid. I am 13, and I started watching movies like 11 and 12. I am 13, and I love your videos, and I love your bills, and I like that's the store Rex battle. Well, thank you. From what I can pull from that, it's really great to have you along the ride. And I know English isn't your first language, and that's okay. I'm doing my best, just as you are. So, thank you so much for sticking with us and rocking with us that whole time. Now, let me try and catch up. Also, do you have modern soldier toys? I do, if you count G.I. Joe. No, like standard military stuff, but like figures with modern military gear, yes. But I don't have like a modern squad of U.S. Marines, unfortunately. So, figures with modern gear, with modern soldier gear, yes. But a modern soldier, accurately, no. Bye-bye, Toy Adventures. See ya. Thank you for showing up and being with us on the live. For the Taurus Rex Part 9. If you mean this Rex right here, this Rex will be a part of its own series. This will be its own new, well, kind of remake, but its own new timeline. I don't even think it's going to be connected to the Project Guardian. It might be, but I'm going to kind of think it out a little more and see if I want to connect them together or not. All right, let me position the Rex a little bit better so you guys can see a bit more of him. And I know I basically haven't even touching him. I've been like frequently just doing a little bit of dry brushing, but that's all I'm supposed to be doing right now. Yes, this is a custom. I assume that's what you meant, Jurassic Adventure. You said costume, but I assume you meant custom. Yes, I am doing a custom right now. Looks real goofy. That's because it's on like step 2, and there's like 50 steps. So yeah, little premature. Your videos are so cool. Thank you so much, Jurassic Adventure. Thank you so much. Suggestion: could use do something like JP the game with a fallen Jurassic Park alerted dinosaurs. Kind of like the park just fell into disarray, like just recently. That is something I could do. That might be the sequel series to Rebirth, where instead of it being Jurassic Park while it's running, it'd be right after it falls. Although I would like to do something more unique, like do it while it's running, just because that's something we haven't really seen. We've seen it fall apart, we've seen it be built up, but we haven't really seen it work, actually work. Specifically Jurassic Park, not you know what I mean. He's gone, blow up the chat. But I'm back now. And if I see anyone blowing up the chat, you will get the RPG treatment. What will the Rex custom be? The Rex custom will be the Trespasser male Rex. Go through my phone and pull it up. It says alpha female here because they don't know what they're talking about, but that is the male Rex from Trespasser, and that's what we're going for. As you can see, we're just on this step right here with the belly going up into the brown, and then I have to do all that orange that will fade into the red, and then I have to do all the black. So there's a lot to do on this Rex still. Just giving you guys a slight glimpse into the madness that I had to go through. Also, the cleanup crew from when Mazzani and his company were capturing the dinosaurs before 2015. That is another pretty interesting toy movie idea. I mean, I think that should have been its own movie, to be honest. I think Hollywood should pick up that idea where we see the island, we see the preparations for Jurassic World. I could probably cover that pretty easily. And that might be a unique series. It's just not one I could go on and on and on for. It'd be like a part 1, 2, and 3, and that's it. Because there's a definitive end. So, yeah, it might be a mini series that I attempt. That's a pretty good idea. Is Ronnie capturing all the dinosaurs and sending them off to Jurassic World. Although it wouldn't be, you wouldn't have to send them too much. I guess, yeah, because some of them were captured from Sorna. Obviously, the ones from Nublar were just, captured and driven over to their paddock, whereas Nublar would have to be shipped over from the island. So, I mean, Sorna. Dinosaurs captured in Sorna would have to be shipped over to Nublar. So, I don't know. It'd be a pretty interesting idea to tackle. Jurassic Adventures. I have the D-Rex. I also have the D-Rex. I have 2 D-Rexes. One that I torched the face and one normal. Question: do you think you can bring back doing videos with no parts to it? Like it's just a group of soldiers on an island like how you used to do in your older videos? Yeah, I mean, I used to do those all the time because, like I just had a bunch of random ideas. But now that I've done most of my ideas, it's kind of tough to come up with one-off movies. It is kind of tough, and most of the time my stories are so complex now. And this might be a bad thing, but they're so complex now that I don't really feel like I can handle them all in one part. It'd have to be one super long movie. But I might, if you guys want to see some more just fun one-offs that are short, simple, real simple movies about mercenary goes on an island, things go wrong, die, like that, I could definitely do. But movies, if you guys are looking for movies with more, interesting, captivating storylines, that requires multiple parts and things to be built up over time. What if you did another Toy Stories with Dr. Tembo? Well, boy, do I have news for you, because Dr. Tembo is the main character of Return of the King. So he will actually be the main character of this Rex's movie. So Dr. Tembo is definitely coming back. And he will be coming back in a starring role. Although it won't be connected to any of the other movies. So it won't be connected to Rise of the Hybrids or Ultimate Threat. So, yeah. Well, it was nice talking to you, Jurassic Adventures. I'll talk to you later. He said bye. So, Distortus Rex failed Rex upgrade. Scorpius Rex failed first hybrid. Metodon rejected hybrid. Mosasaurus and Dominus Rex prototype. I guess. Yeah, I don't know the intricate lore of all the mutants because I gotta be real. I'm not super interested in the mutants. I'm mainly here for the dinosaurs. But good to know. I'll have to keep in mind for that. Will the Minotaurs show up in Genesis 4 as another problem for Owen? I did answer that question earlier. Yes, I will. Also, Red is a male. Ghost is the female Rex, is the female Indominus Rex. But yes, Mutodons will be showing up in the next movie. I just thought I should thank you real quick. You were my main inspiration for doing toy movies, and now I feel I am mastering the whole technique, and it has now inspired me to become an actual director. That is awesome to hear. I really hope you go far. It's so awesome to hear that, I got to play a part in your story. So thank you for telling me that. And thank you for rocking with us. Most of all, thank you for being a viewer. That is the most appreciated thing. Now you're getting the questions here. Now you're getting the questions. Now it's your turn to answer the questions. Season 9. Sorry, notification in the way. Season 9. Are you saying like InGen, or are you saying like Owen's team to kill the stars with guns? Or using that Jay like some army men? If you're talking about, I kind of discerned that as in like you're talking about me killing off main characters. They'd always get killed off by dinosaurs. In the regular movies, I don't really show too much human on human violence. I mean, I saved most of that for the G.I. Joe movies because I figure you guys aren't here to see shootouts. You guys are here to see dinosaurs attack people and dinosaurs be dinosaurs. So if a main character were to die, it'd probably be getting mauled or eaten or something, or falling off a cliff in a self-sacrifice moment. Something like that. Some Jurassic Park related way to die. I would love to see a Jurassic Park series following the Rogers dealing with problems like the park being open, like a spoiled child goes into the dino paddock and needs to be rescued. Yeah, see, that would be what I would want to do as a series. It'd be like the mundane issues of running Jurassic Park, not World Park, with all the old iconography and stuff. So, yeah, stuff like that. Sick packies, Rexes getting bored and needing enrichment, new births on the island, introducing new species. Like, it'd all be really fun to do. It's just I don't have the necessary resources to get it all done. Do you like the Predator movies? I've actually never seen the Predator movies. I think I'd like them, but I've never actually seen them. You guys would be quite shocked to hear about all the iconic movies I haven't seen. Let me go ahead and blow your pants off. I've never seen Lord of the Rings, any of them. So, yeah, go ahead and yell at me for that one. Also, could you use the Halo mech with your new series from Halo 4? The Mantis, you mean? I could. The Mantis is pretty cool. I never really thought of using it. The only reason I wouldn't is because it has a big old UNSC logo on there, and I don't want to customize my Mantis because I'm also a big Halo fan, so I like just having a Mantis. So I might, but I don't really see myself doing it. Me and my friends are actually hoping to write and direct our own Jurassic World film. We actually have an idea similar to that plot taking place in 2002 to 2003. That is really cool. Wish you guys the best on it. That sounds like an awesome thing that you guys are all working together on it. I do everything on my own, so the fact that you got yourself a little team is pretty cool. Can you make like 15 or 20 toy movies like The Hunt for Indoraptor? That's a lot to make, but I could make a few of them, especially if we get a nice Hammond Collection Indoraptor. Yeah. Also, what happens after Rise of the Hybrids and the Ultimate Threat? Because you left off where the Ultimasaurus is still alive. I really got bored with that series. It just kept building up, and I didn't know how to end it. I'll probably have to get back and make a finale, but as of now, I don't know. To answer your question as honestly as possible, I don't quite know what happened yet. Yeah, things are still in limbo. Just don't have plans to revisit that series quite as yet. But if the demand is there, I will do a finale. If you guys really, really want to see the final hurrah of Rise of Hybrids, I'll go ahead and crank out a finale. But that Ultimasaurus figure is old and beaten up, so it will look a little trashy on camera. And I didn't make it, so I can't refurbish it. You know what I mean? Could you perhaps make a playlist for toy series that are connected in the same universes? I do that for the most part. Like Return to Sorna and Project Guardian are obviously two connected movies, although I think they might have separate playlists, but they are connected. Operation Rebirth is a part of Project Guardian now, retroactively. But yeah, I might. I mean, there's no reason in not doing it. Maybe do like a full series playlist. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. I'm trying to get a drink of my soda, but it's all ice because I freezed it too long. Like Owen Grady's like, are you some mans they killed? The store's Rex. Or are you in a big humongous robot? Are you house? I'm so sorry, man. I still can't understand what you're trying to say. To be honest here, I'm not sure what you mean by all that. May Raynov, Rayranov, not Renovto. Another suggestion: do a JP Tale series kind of based off of the novel, like in 1991 or 1992, with series like Ed Regis. I'd have to read the book. Yeah, you caught me. I haven't read the Jurassic Park books, but I definitely want to. At least with like Audible, that would be really attractive. And yeah, maybe do like something based off of it. The main part thing is I like to do my own series. I'm not too big on recreating a bunch of stuff. That's why you haven't seen like scene recreations from me, because I like to go my own way. And do my own ideas. So I'm trying to get soda out of this thing. There's just ice in here. There's just ice. It's really tough. I'm just gonna leave it alone for now. Could you do a toy movie based on Jurassic Park 1993 having to deal with graboids from Tremors? That would be a really, really unique crossover. The only reason I wouldn't do it is because Tremors isn't that popular. I've seen like 2 Tremors movies. I saw the Legends of the West one where it was in like the old Western times. And then I think I saw one of the random sequels to Tremors. I've never seen the original Tremors, but it's a really cool idea. But it never really captured me to be a fan like that. So I doubt I would do anything with graboids. Are the Rexes and Project Guardian still a pack, even though we never see them together anymore? Also, what happened to the Spinos where they and that were chasing Vance and Polly? Yes, the Rexes are still a pack. It's just that when the real world answer is it's just unfeasible to pack all the large carnivores all at once for a trip. I can only pack so many big dinosaurs all at once. So I kind of just say like, the ones you see are out hunting and the other ones that you don't see are chilling at the nest. That's kind of my excuse. If you don't see the orange and black one, that's because they're at the nest with the young. If you don't see the buck and the doe, that's because they're at the nest with the young. You know, someone's got to be watching the little ones, and usually that's my excuse. As for the Spinosaurus, I've kind of just, if a dinosaur's not still chasing them, it's safe to assume the dinosaur just lost interest. Like it just stopped caring, went back to go doing what it is. It's just an animal. Like if a bear chases you, it's not going to hold a grudge. Once you get away from it, it's just going to go back to foraging for berries. So that's kind of my excuse, that you maybe see like a dinosaur chasing someone in the end of one movie, and in the next movie it's like they stopped caring. It's just because they stopped caring. They went on to easier prey. Suggestion: can you make a toy movie with the Warpath plot? Um, yeah, that'd be a pretty cool one. Where they're constantly having to fight dinosaurs. That would be a pretty neat one. I just need like a good arena, like a good structure to make up an arena, or maybe they just because like if they're just doing it in the fences, the dinosaurs would just plow through the fences. So, um, I mean, yeah, it's a really interesting idea. Uh, maybe I could implement it into another movie. Maybe that's why the poachers wanted the dinosaurs. Who knows? But yeah, pretty cool suggestion. Definitely a cool suggestion. Go to the island for the ending that thing and rescue the dinosaurs. I think you mean for the Rise of the Hybrids? I'm not sure. Toy and it's not creational, but expand the lore and intensity from and pre 1993. I mean, yeah, that would be really cool. Like I said, to just go back and fill in the blanks. I like sending some men to kill the Destroyus Rex, or fixing the robot. Um, the again, I'm very confused by what you're trying to say. Sorry, trying to say like, are you like you said right there? I know you're confusing, but are you like sending some men to kill the Destroy Rex or fixing a robot? I'm not sure what you mean. I mean, Distortus Rex, yes, they're still trying to kill the Distortus Rex. The Distortus Rex has not been confirmed to kill yet, killed yet. And yeah, they're going to fix up the robot, and it's going to come back in the next movie and fight the Distortus Rex all over again to finish the job. Suggestion: the dinosaurs are on Isla Sorna and evolving, and the new gens look more like the accurate animals. You see, I've always had that idea. That one has always been my idea, where like through breeding, they've kind of breeded out the frog DNA out of their genes, and now they're getting more pure DNA with each generation, and that they slowly start looking like more regular dinosaurs. That was kind of my idea, and that would be the main reason I'd get these beasts of the Mesozoic. You know what I mean? So yeah, that has definitely been a pretty interesting idea that I've always wanted to kind of try out. But again, I just haven't had the money because these beasts of the Mesozoic are so expensive. And let's say I need two Rexes, that's like $400 right there. It's insane. So it just hasn't been feasible. I feel like you really gotta collect either just dinosaurs and just do Hammond collection and Beast of the Mesozoic and not do other lines, but I do other lines. I do like Halo, G.I. Joe, Gundam, Star Wars, so I can't really afford to spend $200 per dinosaur. As good and as amazing they are, it's just not feasible for me as of yet, currently. But in the future, nobody knows, you know? Any tips from finding 2002 to 2003 Hammer collection figures on the aftermarket? Um, I would suggest OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace. Those are my two biggest suggestions because you'll get a lot of like moms who don't know what they have, who are just or just people who don't know or care what they have, or just listing stuff to get rid of it because they're moving or whatnot. They need space. That would be my suggestions. OfferUp. Some people say Whatnot, but Whatnot's a big scalper site, so you're not going to find good deals on there. Mercury is another really good one. Or Macari, I think it's called. And so yeah, Mercari, OfferUp, and Facebook Marketplace would be my best suggestions to get anything old Jurassic that is not in stores anymore. Anything. How come you sent Scotty away for Project Guardian for a few episodes? I know the comp is Malden, but did you have that happen as there was like too many characters or too? No, it was just because I kind of wanted to up the stakes. I wanted there to be consequences. He got mauled, so now he needs to go get helped by a doctor, you know? They didn't have the first aid that was sufficient for what he needed. Just to add stakes, to be like, yeah, people can get killed, people can get hurt. Scotty and Simon are not immune to that. They can get injured and die just like everyone else. So yeah, I mean, from time to time, the characters will get mauled or maimed and have to leave and come back. So That's mainly why. It wasn't just because there's too many characters, because there's not too many. I kind of separate them pretty good per scene. Like I'll just have two or three characters in one scene, and then the other characters are doing other chores on the island. So it wasn't because there's too many. It's just because I wanted to, you know, move on or not move on. I wanted to show that there was real threats on the island to even our main characters. You're completely fine, May Ray and Ovendero. I'm having just as hard of much trouble as you are, so don't worry about it, man. I'm glad you're here interacting with us. All right, the Rex desk says, when are we going to bring back that military wants the dinosaurs? And will you maybe do something that involves the black market? Also, I love your movies. Yeah, those ideas are always really kind of background ideas. So like the military wanting the dinosaurs is still the active idea in Genesis War. Hence why there is a perfectly trained Indominus Rex. Um, that idea is still on there. It's just kind of in the background. It's not the main focus. You know what I mean? It's just kind of some subplot stuff. But it's been there. Suggestion: you could use the Nanotyrannus from the new Jurassic World toys to make a juvenile. So I assume, talking about this dude, yeah, his box is a little beaten up. This Nanotyrannus right here. It's just, do I have knives right here? I do. You guys are getting a live unboxing. You guys didn't even know about it. Lucky you. Come on. So, this little dude, I have definitely been thinking about him, making him a juvenile something. But then again, then I wouldn't have a nice little Nanotyrannus, and he is a cool little Nanotyrannus. I do like him. I mean, look at that. That's a cool little, like, classic Kenner-esque gimmick. That definitely reminds me of something Kenner would do, although he's got a bit of a milk mustache right there. A little bit of extra teeth paint spilling onto the front of the face. But, yeah, I would definitely be down to use this guy. He's just been sitting in my storage for a while because I haven't thought of what to do with him. He is a little small. But like you said, for Zeus and Matilda, that would be a pretty cool little infant for them. So yeah, he's a pretty useful little figure. Would the Hammond collection tip you gave me work for finding Trevor Gabbroids and different monster action figures for under $80 on the aftermarket? I don't know if you're going to find them within a certain price range, but yes. For older toys, you may even be able to, like, if we're talking like from the 80s or from the 90s and before, you may even be able to use Craigslist. Now, I don't advise using Craigslist because it's a little dangerous. There have been reported crimes on there, but I used to use Craigslist, and I got a $40 animatronic Spinosaurus back in the day off of Craigslist. So you can definitely find some stuff on there. It's not that great. I would still definitely more recommend you guys using Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, and Mercari or whatever you call it. Those are my the golden three of aftermarket hunting. And also just going to your local savers. Your local thrift store is another really good idea. You'll find the cheapest there. I'm kind of angry about how they made the Nano. They did Bro dirty. How did they do him dirty? I mean, his scope's not fantastic. But I mean, considering how bad Tavorosaurus and Gorgosaurus got done, I think he escaped pretty unscathed. And you got to think of it in relative terms. It could have been a lot worse. He was in the survival line and didn't get completely butchered. Will you ever do any other normal Sanctuary series not revolving around the hybrids or mutants about people who continuing this island? Yeah, I would. I absolutely would. That would be a fun idea. Yeah, I mean, you're just full of ideas today. You guys are just full of awesome ideas. Like, that would be another pretty cool series where I don't have to do the hybrids, because, you know, I feel like both you guys and me are kind of getting sick of the hybrids. You guys will have to let me know if you guys are like kind of over the whole custom dinosaur idea, or if or not custom toys, but like people making their own dinosaurs from genetics. I'm kind of getting over that. I would just like to see some real dinosaurs again. The focus being on them being the big bad villains again. So yeah, I definitely would think that would be a pretty cool idea actually. And the live's almost over. We got about 25 more minutes left in the live. So let me try and get to these questions as fast as I can. I have also watched every single one of your vids. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Suggestion: Jurassic Park. What if all the dinosaurs were from the first movie are from Jurassic? Allosaurus, take example for the Rex. That would be okay. And that one seems a little bit much of a gimmick movie where it's like, oh, well, where's the Cretaceous Park then? They just put Jurassic in Jurassic Park because Jurassic is a much more marketable name than Cretaceous is. It just hits you a lot better. Everybody knows Jurassic. Nobody knows Cretaceous or Triassic. At least not like the base common folk. But everybody knows what Jurassic is. So I think they just picked that name because it was marketable and catchy rather than it, these dinosaurs are specifically from the Jurassic period, because the common folk don't even know that dinosaurs were split up into 3 periods. Your common person that has no clue that there were Stegosaurus fossils when T-Rex was roaming the earth, So it's really just a marketing thing. But the idea of it all being dinosaurs from the Jurassic is kind of gimmicky and limits it a little bit. I would just do a movie where I have people go back in time to the Jurassic period so you can go see the dinosaurs in their real habitat. Will you use the dinosaurs in your new movies? I have used them. It's just kind of rare because he's huge and, a pain to get around when I would have to lug a duffel bag full of dinosaurs and then another bag full of just vehicles and structures and whatnot, and then the figures come in their own tackle box. So it's a lot of stuff to carry. And then if I have to walk a long distance from where I get out of the car to the spot I'm going to film, bringing the Tyrannosaurus is just such a pain because I have to like lug it over my shoulder or find a way to stuff it in a bag to where it's sticking out, and it's just a pain bringing the sauropod. That's why when you see a sauropod, it's usually just one. If the filming spot's not far from the car, I can afford to bring multiple because it's just a matter of walking them from the car to the spot. But when it's a far walk, I have to really be mindful of the weight I'm bringing along. Do you know the guy wearing the blue pants and blue shirt from the Stores Rex Part 8? Can you make him more of this and can't get him a gun for Part 9? I will try and do that better. The Rex says, I like the mutants personally only when they're kind of speckled out in the movies or storylines I focus on. Also, will you use more prehistoric mammals? I do want to use more prehistoric mammals. I just don't know a lot about them. If you're meaning like non-Ice Age mammals, like mammals that lived with the dinosaurs, that is not my specialty. But I would be down to do some Pliocene creatures. Some saber-toothed, some terror birds, some of the giant moose and rhinos, I think would be a fun addition. I don't know if you guys ever played the old Jurassic Park Builder game, the old like mobile game on your phone where it was Jurassic Park, not Jurassic World Builder. You had a whole Pliocene park with like Gigantopithecus, the Titanoboa. It was really cool. And they had a unique and creative ways for how you captured them and how you stored them and showed them off. And yeah, it was really awesome. So I would love to do that based on that idea. So to answer your question, I would like to. I just need the good figures to do it. It's all about having those physical representations in hand so I can work with them, because I am unfortunately not a toy maker. What is your dream Jurassic World toy line? Like if you could invent your own Jurassic line toy line, what would it be? It would be really, it would just be like the Legacy collection, but higher quality stuff. Like PVI Elite Force quality, or maybe McFarlane quality detail of figures, where it's just like based on the movies. And then they don't forget the army builders. Like you got to have your Jurassic Park workers be figures. You have to have ACU figures. like stuff that you can buy multiple of, humans that are just fodder for your dinosaurs, instead of it just being random mercenaries. Because nobody has a reference for that. Like we saw random mercenaries in the movie, but only sometimes. We want like workers and staff and stuff to populate the park and put in your vehicles that aren't main characters, that are stuff you remember from the screen and that you can use to make your own little Jurassic Park. So it would be more of a Legacy Collection line. I really think Legacy Collection was an amazing line that they did not need to end. It was their best line yet. Maybe combine Legacy Collection with Hammond Collection. That would be my ideal line. Sets that come with vehicles and humans based off of specific scenes with highly detailed, articulated dinosaurs packaged with them. That would be the perfect line for me. I think I'm actually caught up with the questions. That's awesome. In that case, for evolving dinosaurs, you don't need to make them fully accurate. Just make the characters say that they are changing and showing some uh, new designs. Yeah, I would, but I would also like to slowly incorporate the new accurate looking dinos into the movie. And by that I mean Beast of the Mesozoic, because that's what Beast of the Mesozoic is really good for. So I would just like to get those into the movie regardless, even if it's not necessarily super realistic for them to change so drastically in just a few generations. It's just kind of how I would like to pull it off. You know what I mean? Oh, another idea. Maybe the company that gave InGen the mech is also operated by Jack Thorne from the novel and is a military engineering company. You could incorporate the Warthog with it. I'm assuming you mean Warthog and not Warhog, because I don't know what the Warthog is. And if by Warthog you mean the Halo one or like the real world A10 Warthog. Either way, that is a pretty cool idea. That since they're using mechs, that there's more military involvement now. I have always flirted with the idea of incorporating more military-esque vehicles, like in Ultimate Threat. They had the Striker, or not. It's not a Striker, but it's a BTR type vehicle, an armored personnel carrier, with a 20 millimeter gun on it. So I have flirted with the military stuff. I think the GI Joe series is the most direct military on dinosaur series I have. So a lot of what you want to see, if you want to see military X dinosaur, is to just go watch the GI Joe movies. You'll find what you're looking for there, I believe. Any chance of toy movies with any chance of a toy movie where the characters need to deal with prehistoric mammals? I already answered that earlier, where I would like to do that. I just don't have the figures of them. And by prehistoric mammals, I'm going to assume you mean Ice Age, and not like the random small rodents that would be living in like a Rex nest. Because truly, the dinosaur mammals of the dinosaur times would be really small, because they haven't evolved to be big and take over the food chain yet. So it would be nothing bigger than like a raccoon. You know what I mean? The next Friday, can you use part 9? Next Friday is going to be this guy, if I can get him done in time. If I can't, then it will be another Project Guardian. Make a toy movie of Jurassic Park X Gremlins. I don't know about that one, Chief. I definitely do not know about that one. What if you did a Biosyn Valley movie? I am doing one right now. That would be cool. I just don't like Biosyn, to be real. But that would be a neat one. It's definitely a possible idea. I would need to go somewhere that looks a lot like that kind of marshy area that they had for Biosyn Valley. Crestline or Idlewild might work for those really woodland scenes. But then there's also those really like marshy swamp scenes that I don't have anything equal to make. Do you still have your Apatosaurus? Of course, I have all of the sauropods. I still have all of them. Even the Hammond Collection Brachii that they sent me. Yeah, I got sent that one for free. That was pretty crazy. That thing's crazy expensive now. I wish I got another one. I wish I got a second Hammond Collection. Now I always get at least 2 or 3 minimum of the Hammond Collections. So I have one in storage, at least of the good ones. Like I don't have any of the extra Styracosaurus or Sinoceratopses because they're not that good. And I doubt they're going to go super high in value, but you never know. I might need to go get an extra one to keep in box just to be safe. All right, I'll see you later, Luke. Hobby time. It was nice having you in the chat. Thank you for coming. Rex Tech says, also, are you going to tie in the French intelligence? I think you mean to say. He said intelligence. I don't see where the French intelligence is coming from. I don't think I will. I have no idea what you mean by French intelligence agencies. But yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the painting. Pretty much caught up on the questions now. So, I gotta make sure I get the back legs done here. I made a mistake on this side where I painted it from the back going out. I actually need to do it from the inward going in because it's supposed to be fading into this light color, so I'm going to have to redo that leg, unfortunately, because it does not look right. Oh, see, I just did it again right there. That force of habit. I'm so used to going from out in, and I'm not used to from going from this direction out, and I'm going on it, so take a little bit extra work to fix it on this side. Going across. It needs to be going from this way in. What if you did a documentary series? That's kind of what Project Guardian is supposed to be. That's what Nigel's making while he's there, is he's filming a documentary series. And it's just more of a dinosaur toy documentary series. So yeah, I mean, that's why there's so many just random behaviors, random things going on in that movie, like Rex is forming a pack or Stegosaurus raising a baby. It's just supposed to be kind of like them monitoring the daily lives of dinosaurs. So, like a documentary. So, yeah, that's pretty much what Project Guardian is supposed to be, is the documentary series. In Dominion, those who did the black market bust. Also, will you use more Atrociraptors for your kids' baby repair than it looks like the pack from Chaos Theory? I might. The Atrociraptors never really stuck me. They just kind of seem like the other raptors, like the evil raptors, even though the raptors are already supposed to be evil. But since they gentrified blue, the only raptor left, you kind of have to have a new raptor threat. And so they just introduced the Atrociraptors. So I never really got attached to them because they didn't do anything unique with them. They just kind of felt like different velociraptors, off-brand velociraptors. So I don't see myself doing too much more with them, but they will make appearances. They'll like show up and stuff, but they won't be the stars of anything or front running any type of movie. Just because I just was never super sold on them. That's just a personal thing, to be honest. Have you seen the documentary, The Dinosaurs? Not yet. I've heard about it. It looks really cool. Just haven't seen it yet. I haven't even finished season 2. Or no, I think it's season 1, because I accidentally watched season 2 first. But I haven't finished season 1 of Prehistoric Planet, which is really bad because I love that series, but I just don't watch a lot of TV. I really don't watch a lot of TV. Where do you get your helicopters from? eBay. Anywhere I can find them. Anywhere. Whether it be the cheap off-brand ones on I find it like Walmart or Target, or it'd be the ones I find on Amazon. The really expensive, nice ones that are BB Elite Force. I almost said BBL. BBI Elite Force. I don't know what BBI stands for, but that's just what they used to call it. BBI Elite Force. The Blackhawk and like the Huey, those are extremely expensive. Actually, the Huey's 21st Century Toys, but they're like $300, $400, so I would not suggest going for them. Your best bet is to look for World Peacekeepers, and then like just those off-brand toys that Walmart has at times. Helicopters are kind of tricky to find good toys of that are not super expensive. If you don't mind breaking the bank, there's a lot of good options. But if you're trying to like stay within $100, you're gonna be a little more challenged to find something worthy of your time. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the live here. I think we had enough time, a good 2 hours. Everyone got to come in and ask their questions. I got a lot of awesome suggestions today. So thank you everybody who showed up and gave me some comments, gave me some directions and some pointers, what you guys want to see on the channel. It was very eye-opening, and I think it's going to really help me guide the channel in the proper direction that you guys want to see it going. It was nice to come here, explain myself to you guys, get a little more personal, let you guys know the inner workings of my mind, because the inner workings of my mind are an enigma. So yeah, thank you guys all so much for showing up. This was awesome. I may do another live in the future. I definitely will. I just don't know when. Here's our final look at the Rex. I was just appreciating this thing sculpt the whole live. It's so nice. This is such a nicely sculpted Rex. It's such a shame they had to screw up the toy gimmick. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I will catch you guys next time. This has been Toy Adventures, signing out. Peace.